Teabaggers call me a liar, man. I'm too hot. Hot damn. Hope it change. You know who I am. I'm too hot. Hot damn. And the redistribution of money. Check it out. Tax increase, hallelujah. Woo! Tax increase, hallelujah. Woo! Tax increase, hallelujah. Woo! Obama bunk's gonna stick it to you. Obama bunk's gonna stick it to you. Obama bunk's gonna stick it to you. My massive spending will never stop. Don't believe me, just watch. Let me be clear. I'll say it again. Republicans, don't believe me, just watch.
Are you currently waging war against the infidel? Dreaming of the day you can become a martyr and yet Allah Akbar with bombs strapped to your chest? Stop! You don't commit acts of terror over religious fanaticism. You commit acts of terror because you don't feel you have a chance to earn a career. Well, now you can find a career that's right for you at
jihadjobs.com.
At jihadjobs.com, you'll find dream careers like camel breeder, goat shaver, hummus chef, desert realtor, and so much more. You'll also find those careers with competitive pay and other tremendous benefits like extended bereavement time if your family member was a suicide bomber, 48 hours of maternity leave,
Not for women.
and much more. Introduce yourself to another bank besides the West Bank. Stop waging war against the USA and start contributing to your 401k. Stop raping, start reaping the rewards of an exciting career at
jihadjobs.com.
your new career is just a stone's throw away. jihadjobs.com.
Website is for men only and approved under Sharia law. All women who access the website will be stoned to death. Other restrictions apply. Consult Allah for details.
jihadjobs.com.
Welcome to the podcast you've always wanted. It's The Right Angle with Bill and Leslie.
Now, an elderly white felon and an elderly white socialist walk into a Vegas convention center. That's not a bar joke. That's your Democrat candidates for president, America. Hey, everybody. We're here with a special post-DNC debate edition of The Right Angle. I'm Leslie. He's Bill. Hi, Billy.
If I die sometime during this debate, vote for Jim Webb.
You got it. We can vote twice. And we have with us a special producer for tonight, our friend Jason DeWilkins of the According to Me and Bunny show, which just preceded us here on K98 Talk. Hi, Jason.
Hello, and I am special. That's about it.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And thank you for your help tonight.
You got it. I'm excited.
All right,
I want to hear the Bill and Leslie Democratic Party debate wrap-up because, you know, I listened to just the audio of it on my car ride back and forth to work today. I was watching the Cubs. I had way more important things to do last night. But I will say that I did get in a car accident and pull over and vomit twice, if that helps. But I'm sure you'll give us more information than I could even bother to bear to share with my audience. So I'm excited.
So we already know that it was impactful for you. So we're going to be jam-packed with knowledge tonight. All right, let's get this party started. Billy, tell us who was on stage at last night's debate.
So basically, we'll just go from left to right. Who's echoing?
Could be me.
Okay, stop that. Going from left to right, you have the war hero, the socialist grandpa, the felonious Nana, guy who taxed the rain, and the guy who canceled Christmas twice. No, I don't mean Castro. That's right, Lincoln Chafee, he canceled Christmas in the state of Rhode Island for all government offices twice.
Very Grinchy.
Very, and he sort of looks like Jim Carrey from that Grinch movie too, doesn't he?
A little bit, yeah.
They sing without welfare. They sing without Medicare.
Yeah. So your impressions?
Wow. Wow. Just wow. I don't know. Where do you want to start? The fact
I'm going to start with enlightening the audience that I'm the big dummy tonight. Let me just start with that real fast. So Billy is a former Democrat. We're going to get out of him whether he would have actually considered himself a socialist Democrat or Democratic Socialist back before his conversion. Communist. Okay. I've never really identified as a Democrat or with Democrats, except for the fact that I grew up in Massachusetts. So sometimes what I just thought was normal policy was actually Democrat policy, but I'll get back to that later. So Billy made me watch this debate, and I just didn't know what the hell I was looking at. And electoral politics is not my thing. So I'm kind of identifying with your average, less than informed voter in the recap tonight, and Billy and perhaps Jason are going to educate me. And I'm just going to speak really like off the cuff. And for starters, what the hell was I looking at?
You were watching five white people argue over why one, but not any of them, should be president.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it was just like it was Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and three guys who were just fucking happy to be there.
Yeah.
Just watch the debate.
Not counting Anderson Cooper.
Yeah. I mean, I made a joke about this last night on Twitter. You know, every time they pan over to Lincoln Chafee, he's like sitting there, drinking something out of a coffee mug. He's not saying anything. He must have got like 6 minutes of airtime the whole night. And he's just sitting there like, well, they ain't asking me questions, but coffee sure is good, isn't it, Jim? I didn't know they were going to have free coffee.
Yeah. I didn't know who those other guys were. I knew that Lincoln Chafee was there, but I couldn't have picked him out of the lineup of the three guys because it was kind of a big deal, close to here when he got into the race.
Yeah.
So I was ranking on some of the local Democrats that I know around here would have paid attention to that. I'm like, hey, Link Chafee, it's a whole new ball game for you now. But I couldn't have picked him out.
Yeah. Lincoln Chafee was, I would say, the most just happy to be there kind of guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, his campaign is basically Lincoln Chafee and a cold fucking day in hell. He's not going to win. His poll numbers are negative. I mean, if you took O'Malley, if you exclude the queer baits and the women that want to have sex with Martin O'Malley from the electorate, O'Malley's polling numbers would be like 2%. So, like, combined, all three of them, besides Sanders and Clinton, would be like 3.2%.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had to follow the Fox or CNN rules that they imposed on the GOP debate,
they wouldn't be on the
stage. It'd just be fucking Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton talking to each other.
Right. And they'd be on at like 3 p.m.
Yeah. So, yeah. There's no easy way to say this. They're all just losers. Like, it's the biggest loser fest I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, I was a Democrat for most of my life until I was about 27. I've never seen such a pitiful fucking showing for a DNC debate ever. I mean,
now, are you including the two front runners?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, especially them.
All right, so thoughts on Hillary?
Well, I would say that the thing that I thought going into the debate was, I think I said this on Twitter, I predicted that Martin O'Malley was going to be a bomb thrower. I thought he was going to come right out just like Donald Trump, and he was going to be the really visceral, nasty, cynical,
divisive.
No, I thought he was just going to be really pissed off because that's what he's been doing for the last 2 months. He's organized protests to the Democratic National Committee. He's organized protests at Debbie Wasserman Schultz's offices in D.C. and Florida, begging them for more debates to compete against the Republicans, begging them for more exposure. I have friends who are lifelong Democrats. They don't even know who Martin O'Malley, Jim Webb, or Lincoln Chafee are. The only two people they know are Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton.
Right.
So I was really surprised. I anticipated that this was going to have a combative tone because O'Malley really feels, and you know, not only that, but I'm the most disappointed, I would say, with Martin O'Malley, because he has been this guy who has been very, very upfront, honest, and clear, and very, very, very vocal about how he feels he's getting fucked over, and they're all getting fucked over, so that Hillary can have a red carpet under her feet.
Coronated, yeah.
Yeah. And he's been very vocal about how he thinks he's getting shafted by the DNC and everybody involved in this process. And I expected to see a combative Martin O'Malley. He would go for the throat. He would really fight for this job. He wants to be president. I didn't see any of that. I saw Martin O'Malley kind of cower. I saw him be very, 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 very deferential to Hillary Clinton, almost to the point of apologetics. I was really taken aback by O'Malley. I think that for me, that was the greatest surprise of the night, besides Jim Webb. And it's weird because in this debate we have two different quantities in terms of political affiliation. Lincoln Chafee was originally a Republican. And
yes, that's right.
And then he became an independent, and then he became a Democrat. Jim Webb was a Republican his entire life until I think about 20 years ago, and then he became a Democrat. And it's weird because Lincoln Chafee is very, very, very clearly a socialist and a Democrat, like Bernie Sanders is.
He is?
Yes.
See, this is I'm not paying attention. I don't know. Whatever.
Very, very much so. And Lincoln Chafee was the Bernie Sanders before Bernie Sanders. Before
cool.
Yeah.
Before Bernie Sanders was cool.
Yeah, before it was cool to call yourself a communist out in public, Lincoln Chafee was out there with those ideas. He wasn't calling himself that, but he was very much out there with those ideas.
But he wasn't out there last night with them.
No, well, because they didn't talk to him half the damn night.
There's that too.
He got the least amount of time out of anybody. Him and Jim Webb, they got like no time.
I'm trying to pay attention to the debate, but I'm also trying to pay attention to Twitter just to not, want to stab my eyes out. And like about 20 minutes in, I'm like, wait a minute, Lincoln Chafee is in this?
Yeah. Well, I had somebody last night tell me that until I posted that animated GIF that I scooped.
With the coffee?
With Lincoln Chafee drinking the coffee. I had somebody tell me they had no idea he was in the debate until they saw that.
Yeah.
They asked me if that was from the debate. They said, is that from the debate? I said, yeah. I said, he's standing on the podium. And they go, where? I said, he's all the way on the He's there, though.
Yeah, I got to bring
My point is that basically Chafee is a Republican who became a nutcase, and now he's found a home where he fits in. And Jim Webb got into some tussles with the party over some admittedly really stupid kind of shit. Some social justice stuff, some, mass incarceration kind of stuff, some pretty social justice shit. But Jim Webb basically took his ball and went home, and he became a Democrat, and they hate him. He's like the most hated Democrat in Washington.
Yeah, and I know we want to come back to Jim Webb because I think we agree he was kind of the most fascinating element of last night. But I just want to bring in my mom's quote from about an hour before the show because I'm talking to her, and she always listens to us. Hi, Mom. And she's retired, very politically plugged in, and I'm telling her we're going to talk about the show, and she starts talking to me half in Arabic, and she's going, haram, those guys up there, haram. And haram basically means those poor bastards. Like, it's like when you have pity on somebody, she goes, who were they? Who were those other people?
10 million Democrats watched the show last night, don't know either, and still don't.
Where did they cut? She goes, where did they come from? I'm like, I don't know, Mom. I don't know who they are.
I can answer that, actually. And I think I have the answer. I think that they honestly realized that Sanders and Hillary were in, and I think it was known since time immemorial that Hillary was in, so that was just that was a given.
Almost literally immemorial because she's so old.
As long as somebody didn't drop a fucking house on her, she was going to run.
So old.
That was a Wicked Witch joke, by the way.
I got it.
All right, just making sure. So, as long as nothing happened to Hillary, she was going to run. So once Sanders tossed in, they were like, fuck, now what do we do? There are two people running. Well, we got to make it interesting. So I think they just basically went around and were like, hey, anybody want to run? You're not going to win, but...
yeah. Do us a solid. Do your party a solid. Can you imagine Debbie Wasserman Schultz on those phone calls?
Yeah. And then we find out that the DNC vice chairwoman, whose name that I can't remember at the moment, said that she was not consulted about the late start of the debates, and she was not that the DNC was basically not consulted about anything with regard to the debate process or the primary process. That basically Debbie decided all of this on her own and then just made it so.
Fascinating.
Yeah, she said that the process was horribly undemocratic and that Debbie just did what she wanted, and Harry Reid was involved in it. And then they banned check this out. They banned the vice chairwoman of the Democratic National Committee from attending the first debate.
What?
They did. They did.
That sounds very divisive. That sounds like a party divided against itself.
It sounds like left eats left.
Yeah, but we know that's not going to happen. I mean, that was another one of my big takeaways from last night is that there was very little real attacking of the other candidates' positions, and so, that the left has always been better at uniting against the right, no matter what they're doing.
And that's all they did was unite against the right. Mm-hmm. There was no real. Okay, so let's get into the. I want to do the Jim Webb. We'll talk about Jim Webb at some point here.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of the stuff that I wrote down. I had my Surface out and I took notes.
The Right Angle, brought to you by Bill's love affair with Microsoft.
So I took some notes, and here they are. If I can turn the Surface on.
We can't read.
I'm going to read them to you.
Oh, okay.
What'd you think? I was going to hold it up to the...
You said here they are. That's what she said.
Exposition. So, what am I watching? What is with Lincoln Chafee's hair? No, really. What's with Lincoln Chafee's hair?
It's like haiku.
What the fuck is Bernie Sanders talking about? Oh, look, there's Jim Webb. Oh, Clinton said something. That was stupid. Cameras on Jim Webb again. No, really, what the fuck is Bernie talking about now? Something about confiscating money from banks. Okay. Oh, hey, Lincoln Chafee has coffee. That's nice. I wonder if it was free. These are really the notes that I took.
So you were just live. This is like, you should storify it.
These are really the notes that I took in OneNote. I was sitting there writing these things down, and I'm like, I was so fucking bored. Like, they weren't saying anything interesting. Okay, so if you want to have a real kind of like policy-ish discussion, if you want to turn this into a real podcast here, one of the things that I found fascinating is Bernie Sanders is sometimes able to drag Clinton more to the left. And then there are times where he tries to do it and she resists. And when she resists, she gets really nasty.
I think that's interesting. I don't think he tries to drag her. I think she's trying.
Yeah, he's
strategically. She's trying to strategically go to the left of him where she thinks it's going to gain her more favor with the base, and go to the right of him because she knows out of the corner of her eye that people besides the base are watching.
Here's the thing: Hillary Clinton is above all. I'll say something nice about Hillary Clinton. This is not something I do often.
Watch it.
She is an attorney. She is an attorney.
Retired.
She is an attorney. And she was a fairly good attorney, actually. And she knows that while we're going to break up the banks sounds like a great idea, it's fucking ludicrous. You can't break up the banks. What legal unicorn power are you going to use to do that? There's no way you can do that as president. No fucking way. You can't just, I'm going to break up the banks. Well, what? What are you going to use? Unicorn power? I mean, how are you going to do that? That's the thing that I don't understand about Bernie Sanders. The thing that absolutely plagues my mind. And this is from somebody who was a Democrat for almost 30 years. How the fuck is he going to do any of these things? He talks about breaking up the bank. He's going to put Wall Street executives in jail. How? With what? Using what branch of the government? What
power?
Even Obama wouldn't say stupid shit like this. I mean, because you can't just do these things. You can't say, well, I'm going to put this guy in jail. For what?
Well, this is kind of with bringing back to the top of the program, I don't understand. I don't understand half of the shit that he was saying. Not only how is it humanly possible in this country, but what the fuck for? What for? How's it going to help anybody?
Well, the question, and I think, I take it back to Jim Webb again. He had a great response to Bernie Sanders' comments about breaking up the banks and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. He said, look, with respect to my friend Senator Sanders, I don't think his revolution is ever going to come.
That was awesome.
And I don't think that any Congress would pay for even half of the things that he's suggesting.
That was awesome.
But it's true. And somebody needed to say it. Dude, this kind of stuff sounds nice when you're at a Revolutionary Communist Party meeting or you're at a United Socialist Front group meeting. These are things that you say in private among people who don't know anything. This is what you say to people who didn't graduate from college, who have never read a book in their life, who are barely
free college.
Right? Yeah, for people who have graduated high school just by the skin of their fucking teeth. This is the kind of stuff that you say to stupid people who work at Walmart with their GED, who have no clue what the difference between their ass and a hole in the ground is. You know, we're going to break up the banks. The banks are taking your money. No, motherfucker, the banks don't take my money. They store my money. You got this shit backwards.
They pay me interest.
Stalin tried to take my money, not the banks.
This is the shit you say in Bill Ayer's living room.
Mm-hmm. When you're sitting there with your wife who, you know, whose 40-year goal in life was to marry the president. Did you see that, by the way?
If I can interject something really quick, because I mentioned this a little bit ago. The thing that just drives me crazy about this, if you really think about this, is that the conversation you always hear is, well, I mean, if Reagan ran as a president now, I mean, he would his party would excoriate him because he's not conservative enough for these crazy people, right? And yet, when you look at the debate last night, and at least what I heard, Obama of 2008 couldn't be on the stage with the front runners last night. You know what I mean? I mean, that Obama of 2008 was way more moderate than Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton were last night. It was so amazing to me to see what the difference, 7 to 8 years makes. Because Hillary, at least to me, spent the majority of her time trying to basically say, look how much more to the left I am of even Bernie. It's just amazing to me. I can't believe the transition in such a short time.
It was sort of like a dick measuring contest, you know?
Well, yes, with all of them. I tend to agree, Jason, and I think part of the reason for that is not only that the Democrat Party continues to swing further and further left, but also it's who do the candidates have to contrast themselves against? Obama had to contrast himself, and Hillary of 2008 had to contrast herself against 8 years of President Bush, a Republican president, and the war in Iraq and such, whereas now these folks are trying to, they kind of have to contrast themselves against the failures of a very leftist Obama presidency.
Okay, so you watched the debate last night. Now, I know that I keep doing this and I keep going back to Jim Webb, but who here saw the look on Jim Webb's fucking face when Lincoln Chafee said that there were no WMDs in Iraq?
Oh, I didn't see it.
Who saw the look on Jim Webb's face when he said that? It was like, oh my God, dude. You weren't even in the fucking Congress then. Shut up.
You didn't see
the intel that I did?
You need to throw out a GIF about that.
Oh my God. I wish I had screen capped it somehow. That was great.
Let's take our first break. When we come back, we're going to get way more into Jim Webb. I want to talk a little bit about how me as the big dummy observed Hillary last night, because that was frightening as hell to me. So we're going to take a break, and we will be right back.
Are you conservative in a world of liberal?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not alone. Hey, I'm Daniel Stafford, host of the Stafford Voice, and I'd like to invite you to tune in each Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern, where I'll break down the events of the week, and together we'll learn about how they affect you. So, sit back and get ready for the good, the bad, and the ugly of talk radio right here on K98 Talk.
It's happening and nothing can stop it. It's the dramatic reinvention of Talk Radio.
Here come the SPA dolphins.
The only thing that can cure racism is Robert E. Lee's penis.
Who named this cat Limberbutt McCubbin? A Trump-Biden debate.
Plugs versus rugs. Real serious nonsense. The show's so bad, you'll laugh at us.
The worst podcast. We obviously hold that title.
Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern on K98 Talk.
A tribute to Cecil the Lion, according to me.
the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lions.
This has been a tribute to Cecil the Lion, according to me.
Oh, are we back?
No.
We're back.
Yes. Okay. Not quite the back intro, but we're fine. We're good. All right, Hillary Clinton. Not gonna lie, but
Just from the aesthetics of looking at her, and it has nothing to do with my loathing for her, I don't think.
What's with that echo?
The face and the body language. Hillary scared the ever-living shit out of me last night. It's like the smile and the wide eyes and the cheekbones and the marionette lines on her face. All the ladies know what marionette lines are on the face. It's like she looked like a ventriloquist dummy. And I may have a bit of a phobia of those things, but I'm just saying, like, for half the time she was speaking, I was looking for Jeff Dunham behind her with his hand up her ass. She did not look even like a human being to me. She didn't look like a human being. She wasn't responding.
Well,
like
she
a
said
human
that
being. She just
BuzzFeed
looked
interview,
so
she isn't a
cold.
human.
And she looked like a ventriloquist dummy to me, Bill.
Whoops. That's not good. Don't want to look like a ventriloquist dummy. I don't know. I have to be honest with you. I didn't pay much attention to Hillary. She was the person I paid the least attention to. Because I feel like the fix is in, so I'm not really interested in what she says. Because I know she's going to win either way. Like I said, I was the most interested in Chafee and Webb and O'Malley. Horribly, horribly, horribly disappointed by O'Malley. Completely unsurprised by Sanders. Because he's a socialist moron.
All right, well, let's talk about Webb.
Okay, Jim Webb. I propose a prisoner exchange. One Vietnam POW for another. I'm telling you, this is gonna. I'm gonna get the traction on this. The draft Jim Webb campaign. I want Jim Webb to become a Republican again. Get him the fuck away from Lincoln Chafee, who obviously scares the living fuck out of him. And take him back where he belongs with people who say things like, we have to kill Al-Qaeda and Muslim extremists.
Yeah.
Jim Webb lives in a world that is pretty similar to the one that I live in. He has some kind of, he has some funny opinions, like on giving Obamacare to illegal immigrants. But, okay, whatever, fine. We can have an argument about that. But, I'll sum it up. Let me explain to you how cool Jim Webb is, just in one question and one answer from the people, from Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper said to Jim Webb, to all the candidates, what do you think is the greatest enemy who is the greatest enemy you are proud of having, person or organization? Lincoln Chafee said something retarded. It was like the banks or something. And then Hillary said, oh, you know, the Republicans and the NRA and the pharmaceutical people and the Iranians that I, like, give a blowjob to and a bunch of money to. And then Bernie Sanders is like, yeah, the banks hate me. And then Jim Webb.
And youth.
Yeah. And Ponce de Leon.
Winston Churchill.
A cool summer night.
Aristotle.
All right. So Anderson Cooper asked the same question to Jim Webb, who went last, of course. And he was like, he thought about it for a second, and he was like, well, it was probably that enemy soldier that tried to kill me in Vietnam with a grenade, but since I killed him, that's not a big deal anymore.
He's not around anymore.
Yeah, he's not around anymore, so.
Kablam!
Yeah, exactly.
Mic drop.
I thought that was cool. His Second Amendment was great, too. Did you see that?
I'm sure I did, but just a quick thing about Jim Webb's military service, which of course now every conservative on Twitter has looked up in the last 24 hours.
And,
he served in Vietnam.
All the Democrats are like, oh, he's a scumbag now.
Exactly. Oh, why isn't he?
Some guy from Politico called him a creepy killer. So
he's a veteran. The Democrats would be like, wait, he's a veteran. Why isn't he homeless or like waiting online at the VA? Isn't that what all the veterans do?
Nah.
Why isn't he a wheelchair outside a monument? Yeah, so he was awarded the Navy Cross, Silver Star, and 2 Bronze Stars for his unbelievably heroic service in Vietnam, which, as you said, makes him a scumbag.
He threw himself on a grenade that was intended for another person, and it wounded him while they were clearing out some Vietnamese spider holes, and I forget where. And
in Vietnam,
he was wounded by the grenade. He actually got up and he killed the guy that threw the.
Killed the guy.
He got up and he shot the guy 6 times before he passed out from blood loss.
Right. So I started positing.
You don't want to fuck with Jim Webb.
I started positing. All right.
Because
I think I see what's going on here.
Kill you back.
I think I see what's going on here. Donald Trump is the Democrats' plant in the Republican candidacy, and Jim Webb is the Republicans' plant in the Democrat candidacy. So I think a prisoner exchange is absolutely in order.
I would like some. I would like a prisoner exchange between the two of them. I really would. I would trade fucking McCain in a heartbeat.
I would trade 5 Republicans for Jim Webb.
Yeah, I would. He was also Ronald Reagan's Secretary of the Navy.
Get the hell out of here. There's a who knew.
Yeah, he was Ronald Reagan's Secretary of the Navy for his first term, I think. Very, very cool guy.
Oh my God! So again, this guy.
Like I said, don't fuck with Jim Webb, because you try to kill Jim Webb, he'll kill your ass first.
He'll kill your ass. He'll jump on a grenade and then get up and kill your ass.
Yeah, then he'll get up and kill you and give you a lecture too.
Okay, so we need to bring him back to the light. But what was basically the only redeeming quality
was the best of the night, though.
The only redeeming quality of the debate for me last night, because again, I'm trying to pay attention. I'm so grossed out by all the socialism. I'm grossed out by all the Santa, free this, free this, free this, free that, free that, free that. And then once in a while, I listen to an answer, and I'm like, wait a minute, that makes sense. Who the hell is that? And I look up, and I'm like, Jim Webb. I'm like, who's this? And I'm looking at him like those old cartoons, like the Warner Brothers cartoons, where there's like the really ugly chick who's like a farmer, and then some dude comes along and she's like, a man. And who is that guy? Where has he been all my life? And my Massachusetts Democrat friends on Facebook who voted, for Elizabeth Warren back in the day, but that's who was running here. A lot of them kind of did the same thing with Webb. Not that it's going to matter, but I just find it interesting that folks around here who were like, not crazy are like, hey, well, yeah, I like Webb in this debate. I was like, wow.
I had a lot of friends that were saying that. And that was the first thing I said was I was like, you know what? On the off chance that like Jim Webb is the nominee, I'm going to vote for Jim Webb. Like, he brought up
Jim Webb versus Trump. I would, not knowing anything about the debate, I'd vote for Webb.
I'd vote for Jim Webb just on the strength of the first debate. But so they were talking about the Second Amendment, which you might be surprised Bernie Sanders is somewhat a proponent of. And
that was the other most surprising thing for me last night.
Oh, no. For me, it wasn't surprising at all. I had known this for a long time. I was just really surprised that he said it because I haven't heard him actually articulate that in a long time. And he gets in a lot of trouble with people when he says that stuff. But basically what he was saying last night is, look, there are rules for states that are urban and there are rules for states that are rural. And I have a lot of hunters and stuff like that in my state, and they don't want you to take their guns away.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to vote the way that they tell me because they're the people who are in charge. Because it doesn't matter what I think, the people I represent, they want to keep their guns.
Oh, yeah.
It's always been his attitude. Always.
No, and I believe that because I believe he can't, you're not a senator from Vermont without that stance, but just, again, not paying any attention to Bernie Sanders until recently. I was surprised to hear how vigorous his arguments were about that.
Well, yeah. People who are not accustomed to hearing him talk, yes, you would be very surprised with that. I was surprised only because I didn't think that he would articulate it in the way that he did and in such a combative way.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, what he was telling Lincoln Chafee is, look, dude, I'm a senator. These people are what keep me a senator. If they don't want me as a senator anymore, I'm gone. So I have to vote the way that they want, and the way that they want is to keep the guns.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to Jim Webb's answer on the Second Amendment, which was...
Let's just take our second break real quick, and let's run back to that, okay? We will be back with The Right Angle in just a minute.
According to me and Bunny, their show's not big. It's huge!
Mr. Trump, what are your thoughts on how should we go about making sure we can protect innocent life in this country?
We're going to be looking at a lot of different things. And, a lot of people are saying that, and a lot of people are saying that bad things are happening out there. We're going to be looking at that and plenty of other things.
Donald, question right over here. What are you going to do as president in regards to Common Core? What actions are you going to take?
We're going to be looking at a lot of different things. And, a lot of people are saying that, and a lot of people are saying that bad things are happening out there. We're going to be looking at that and plenty of other things.
That is like he can say that for anything.
Yes! It's just insert issue.
A lot of things.
Donald, what are we going to do for lunch?
We're going to be looking at a lot of different things. And, a lot of people are saying that, and a lot of people are saying that bad things are happening out there. We're going to be looking at that and plenty of other things.
It's According to Me and Bunny, Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on K98 Talk.
Oh. Obama. Oh. Obama. Oh.
This here's that new hit, Michelle Obama, the float tis. This one's for the middle class. This term's my last, I got work, you see. 3 free community college, and roads to fix in the city. Got vacation days to use up, and damn, my golf shot's pretty. I'm too hot. Hot damn. Climate change has got me on fire, man. I'm too hot. Hot damn. Teabaggers call me a liar, man. I'm too hot. Hot damn. Hope and change, you know who I am. I'm too hot. Hot damn. And the redistribution of money, check it out. Tax increase, hallelujah. Woo! Tax increase, hallelujah. Woo! Tax increase, hallelujah. Woo! Obama bunk's gonna stick it to you. Obama bunk's gonna stick it to you. Obama bunk's gonna stick it to you. My massive spending will never stop. Don't believe me, just watch. Let me be clear. I'll say it again. Republicans, don't believe me, just watch.
And we're back with, yeah, I'm not as good at doing this as Leslie is. Anyway, so Jim Webb said some shit about the Second Amendment, and it actually had a bunch of people in the audience booing. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought he should have just went like, you know, why, I can't say that, you know, like Jerry
Seinfeld?
Lewis. No, like Jerry Lewis. Whoa, I can't say that. That's
What did he say?
Jerry Lewis impersonation. Ignore that. He goes, there are people at high levels in this government who have bodyguards 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The average American does not have that, and they deserve the right to be able to protect their families.
Yeah, man, that was early in the debate, and that's when.
And they fucking booed him.
I looked up, and I'm like, I looked up like Scooby Doo. I'm like, wait, who said that?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Now that's a position that I know that Jim Webb has had for a while. It's a position that somebody who was a Marine for 20 years, you should know he has, probably. I was still quite stunned. I think the things that came out of Jim Webb's mouth were not so much stunning, just as much as it was stunning that they said them, that he said them at a DNC debate.
At a Democrat primary debate, yeah.
Yeah. That was,
yeah.
You know, I thought he was going to taper some of that stuff, but it didn't look like he was interested in that. So.
I would be interested in kind of seeing what happens in the polls. And again, people who we respect and you also agree, well, Hillary won this running away. Hillary's going to be the nominee unless she's, you know, indicted. But it's, I would like to think that some regular American voters, some moderates, some independents watched this and their interest was piqued by Jim Webb, and maybe that, you know, maybe it's my own unicorn hopes that maybe they were turned off a little by the contrast of the socialism and of the hate and of the divisiveness and of the, Republicans are my greatest enemy that I'm proudest of, versus a guy that, you know, not to use the leftist word, but a guy that said a lot of common sense things, scare quotes.
I think that what we saw at the debate last night was that Bernie Sanders is continuing his uphill battle with reality.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Webb
and mortality.
Jim Webb doesn't know what fucking party he belongs to.
Mm-hmm.
Martin O'Malley, I don't know what the hell happened to him. And,
who is that guy?
You know, Lincoln Chafee is just off in the corner, just glad to be someplace outside.
Lincoln runs on Dunkin's.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's, you know, just fucking happy to be out in the sun.
Hey, Billy, do you know why they held this debate at Vegas instead of, why they held the debate in Vegas?
so that Bill Clinton could party with what's left of Lamar Odom?
Oh! That's almost
soon?
as good as my punchline. That's almost as good as my punchline. My punchline is because the Villages refuse to reschedule their weekly bingo night. Okay, we're going to need to wrap up soon, so I want to see what our friend and special event producer Jason has to add.
Wow. Well, first of all, it's never too soon for Lamar Odom jokes, just so you know. So Bill, don't have any reservation. It's never too soon.
Reading the article.
Yeah, you can make fun of that. I made fun of Robin Williams the day it happened. Sorry. Just, I don't care. I have no shame.
Oh.
But, no, I just, like I said, when it comes to the debate as a whole, you know, the one thing I also found interesting, and I mentioned this on our show a little bit ago, was how CNN is touting that, look at Hillary, man. I mean, say what you want. She looked pretty presidential tonight, didn't she? I mean, she looked pretty good. But yet, when you look at what Facebook and what Google said, and a lot of online polls, almost everybody is saying Bernie Sanders walked away with the thing. And it'll be interesting to see the results of that. To your point, when you mentioned Jim Webb, I hate to break it to you, Leslie, the guy has no chance, and no one's going to go, hey, that Jim Webb guy's pretty good. I think a lot of people are just, it's Bernie versus Hillary. And as crazy as this sounds, I think Bernie has a hell of a shot. I really, really do, because Hillary's that bad. And the fact that, he's Santa Claus. He just promises things, and it's just going to happen. And
I don't
at
think
least
the opinion polls bear that out, though.
What now?
I don't think the opinion polls bear that out.
But I think they're off. I mean, these are
7% of Democrats say that they wouldn't vote for a socialist.
Well, but look at the support that he's getting. Look at the grassroots support that he has over. It's very Obama-like. It's very like, well, that guy doesn't have a shot against Hillary until he beat her. Hillary's that bad, that awful of a candidate. He's got a hell of a shot, and at least I'll give him one.
They said about President Ron Paul, though.
Well, fair enough. That's
also what they said about candidate Donald Trump at the begining.
Right, and I think when it all comes down to it, I think what you're really going to see is those two going at it back and forth, and at least say what you want. I think Bernie, and there's many things you can call him, at least he's honest about who he is and what he stands for 99.9% of the time. And you never will ever, ever, ever get that with Hillary Clinton. That doesn't mean I support Bernie Sanders by any means. But at least my dream matchup would be Bernie Sanders, Ted Cruz. Because you'd at least have two people who are like, F you, this is who I am. And let's debate it. Instead of these people playing games back and forth. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
And I totally agree with that. Not on the Cruz thing, because Cruz scares me, but
Billy is scared of Cruz.
Terribly. I think he's a sociopath. I'm horribly scared of him. But that aside, I think that's probably the reason why I think that Bernie Sanders won the debate. Not because he's a crazy old fucking Santa Claus who wants to give you free shit, but because he's just out there, and boy is he out there. And he doesn't care. He's out there and he doesn't give a shit who else is. He's going to say what he thinks, what he feels like, when and how he feels like. And if you don't like it, TS.
Yeah. Well, on that note,
Hillary and Donald Trump will, if you got $1, Donald Trump will adopt a position for you. He'll name it after you if you want.
And Hillary will delete it with a cloth.
Yep.
All right, on this note, we have to get out of here. So, Jason, thank you so much for helping us out tonight. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on the Twitters at ATM_show. Also, Facebook.com/according to me or according to me show. And check us out, According to Me and Bunny, every night. Well, actually, we're on 5 different stations right now, but at least our live show is on every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Awesome. Billy?
Don't find me.
Thank you. And you can find me on Twitter at LA Dowd.
You can hear my pre-recorded voice stuff on the radio on Snark Factor with Fingers Beloy and Midnight Movie Cowboys. And we want to thank everybody and shout out to all of our friends at the Polititainment Network and the K98 Talk family. Thank all of you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Except for that guy Bryce, he creeps me out.
Good night.
I'm with you on the creeped out Bryce thing. Good night, everybody.